Oi, oi, we're in. How you doing, everybody? Welcome along to the stream. Lions versus South Africa. We are here for the big one. It's the first test. And today, I have got a special guest all the way from Rock and Roll Rugby. I've got Ryan with me. Welcome in, buddy.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm great, mate. Yourself?
Yeah. Just looking forward to it. Like I mentioned a little while ago, it's just like Christmas morning for me today because I'm a massive Lions fan. So I think I talk about Lions, the next Lions squad, the week after the previous tests are finished. So yeah, I think I'm just. It's definitely like Christmas morning today for me, anyway.
Absolutely. And the big man back in charge just flashed up on my screen there, Alan Wynne, Mr. Lazarus. How do you reckon he's going to get on today?
I think if he wasn't fit, he wouldn't be there. So I think, like you just alluded to it, Alan Wynne Jones, God, Lazarus, whatever you want to call him now, he's going to be the key to that team obviously today, allowing obviously himself to try and deal with the second rows along with Marrow, along with Courtney Laws. I think that's going to be probably an area where the game is going to be won and lost.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You know, I think the media have got hold of this dislocation, have been like, let's get on this hype train. I don't think it's anywhere near as serious as anybody's made out. And if he wasn't fit, he wouldn't be there
No, exactly.
because there's plenty of cover. So you're right. Massive leader of men, huge force for us to keep cool heads, because I think there's a lot of young lads that could lose it. Right, let's have a little goosey gander at these teams. So let's get that up in front of us, and we'll try and reel off some of these names without butchering too many of the old pronunciations. But here they come. In a second. Where are they? There they are. Right, so we'll go with the home team first. So for South Africa, we've got Nosh. We're going to go with Bongi. We've decided we're going with Bongi today, rather than trying to pronounce that surname. Then you've got Naya Kane, Etzebeth, Mosert, Khaleesi, and Steph de Toit, and Smith make up your pack for South Africa. Into the backs then, and we go with Faf de Klerk starting 9 amidst all the controversy over the recent weeks, especially with those shoulders, those big old shoulders of his. And then Pollard in at 10. Ma Pimpy is on the blind side wing with the Alan Day in at 12. Amin at 13. Chesney Colby, the beast that is, on the open side wing, and Willie LaRue hanging out the back at 15. On to the Lions, where it's all at. We've got Rory Sutherland in at 1, Luke Cowan-Dickey in at 2, Furlong in at tight head. Into the second rows, you've got Maro Toji and Alan Jones, partnership made in heaven, I'm sure. Back row, you've got Courtney Laws, Tom Curry, and Jack Conan. On to the backs, we've got Ali Price, Dan Bigger, Duan van der Merwe on the blind side wing, Robbie Henshaw in at 12, Elliot Daly in at 13, Anthony Watson in at open side, and Stuart Hogg is the backdoor guard. I mean, that's a strong setup, in my opinion.
Yeah, for both teams, isn't it? Like South Africa are pretty much the team that won the World Cup for them, aren't they?
Something I think there's 3 changes.
Yeah, something like 21 of the 23 from the World Cup final are there. So yeah, it's going to be like a phenomenal game. It's going to be so attritional, but I just hope the Lions manage to nick it. Yeah,
and the comments section is rife with box fans, which is what we love to see. Love to see both sides of the coins. So Annie's going go Bok goes. Is going lekker box, and I ain't got a clue what is saying, but it's beautiful to see some comments. Yeah, I mean, for me, this is going to be a huge test for some of these Lions boys. But I think the way England played against the Box and the way the home nations play in general, I think we're up to this. I think we've got this one. I'm quietly confident. I think there's a huge partnership in the centres with Henshaw and Daly, offering that escape route with the boot. Anthony Watson under the high ball, solid as a rock. You're not going to see many knock-ons there. Same as Hoggy. And then the only concern in that back three is Van der Merwe. Is he going to be able to keep step with Mapimpi?
Well, when I was talking about this last night, because I was joining another pod, and I said everyone's talking about whether Van der Merwe defensively can cope with Cheslin Colby because it'll be them two against each other. However, will Cheslin Colby be able to manage against Duhan, because Duhan's massive? He takes about 4 or 5 players to take him down. If we get the ball into Duhan's hand running at Colby, that could be a weakness defensively for South Africa that we can exploit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be the hinge, really, isn't it? But I don't know. I think attacking wise, he's gonna run over people. But like you say, I think defensively he's going to struggle. But plenty of power on that bench should we need to come back into the game. So just seeing here on the screens then that Lions got their tunnel ready for their starting 15 to roll out. Looking forward to this. I'm getting nervous, man. I'm getting them butterflies. Already. Here he comes, Alan Wynne with Bill. Oh, the scenes.
Massive thing.
The scenes. Let's go. 45 of us in here. Don't forget, of course, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and smash the like as well. It all helps with the channel growth. Getting the scene out there. So I do appreciate that. So we're waiting for these Springboks to come out. Tell us a little bit about Rock and Roll.
So it's a podcast that myself and Stefan have. It's mainly him really, because he runs the Rock and Roll account. I'm just there for the techie side of things, I suppose, of setting up the calls and recording it and putting it out. We old school friends. We've known each other for about 25 years, so we just sort of basically chew the fat on rugby for that particular week or that period of time. We try and do them weekly, but obviously busy lives with work, families, etc. Sometimes we have to skip a couple, but no, it's good. It's a good laugh, to be fair, and it's a way of venting, I suppose. If we've had a stressful week or weekend as well, we can get a lot of things off our chest. We have some.
Yeah, you love a vent.
We do love event, yeah. We do love event. I've mainly Steph, but I've started to get into venting my frustrations now and again as well. Some of which have got me into trouble recently, but never mind. But yeah, it's a good laugh, to be fair, and like we've made loads of contacts through like rugby Twitter and stuff, and then people that are mates of ours that have come on. So we're good pals with a lot of people, a lot of good contacts, so we can get some decent guests and stuff, which is good. So yeah, it's enjoyable. We were planning a decent and a pod with a difference next week as a review for this first test. But unfortunately, because I'm in isolation, I can't go up to Wales, so we can't do a pod where we would have recorded together, which would have been the first time. So, but no, it's all good. We'll get on with it, and we'll see if we can get the pod to flourish.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic pod, and the link is in the description. So do head on over and check out Rock and Roll Rugby. It's top bants. It's one of my favorite listens. Right, what are we saying in the comments? Welcome in, DB. Stephen Summerfield is in the house. What are we saying, my man? What's happening, lads? Lions first test is here, and I'm already losing my mind in terms of nerves big time. Mate, my heart is racing. It's a madness over here. I am absolutely bricking it, but we move. Come on then, chat. What are we saying? What's your predictions for this one?
I've said Lions by 5. I was asked to give 2 predictions on scores yesterday, and I went 20-15 and 21-26. So I'll go with them via Lions by 5.
Lions by 5. I'm with you there. I think Lions are going to be behind at half time. I think we're pretty much going to see the same sort of picture as we saw for the South Africa A game. I think they're going to be behind, but I think this time they're just going to be a little bit smarter, a little bit cleverer, and they're going to pull it off at the end and probably win, like you say, 3 or 5. What else are we saying here? Curtis, are you showing the match? Can't show the actual footage, but we'll talk you through everything that's going on. We'll have some ball tracking as well. Keep you up to date with what's going on in the game. I don't think you'll find many people on YouTube showing the game. DB is calling Lions by a score. There we go. And Creeper. Well, there we go. don't think Manopola should be playing. Is Wyn Jones injured? I don't think he's injured, is he?
Yeah. He got pulled up today. So Wyn Jones was the starting prop, and Sutherland was on the bench. But it was announced this morning he's got a shoulder injury. Apparently he shouldn't keep him out for long, so he should be back in training for next week. So, so Mako's on the bench, and Rory Sutherland starts.
There you go. Every day's a school day. I didn't know that. Right, South Africa anthem. It's a beautiful little jingle, isn't it?
One of the best, isn't it?
Mm. There you go, look. Creeper, we're here for everything you need to know, mate. You don't need to be anywhere else. Right, so ball tracking's up. It's ready. Makes a change. What's DB saying? Watching the South Africa some discipline to kick some decisions to kick a goal instead of going for the corner, and it could have been 10-9. They will play more like a test match. Lions will be better. Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to give their hand away, do they? You know, if they show their full playing style too early, then South Africa got a better chance of it.
Yeah, I think that's why there was a lot of tap and goals in that game as well, because the Lions don't want to show the patterns of play that they're going to use to run an attack. So it's a case of give away as little as possible. And I think that's another reason why the Lions turned down the fact of having a second game against South Africa and played the Stormers on Saturday instead, because obviously it's another chance to players get injured. It's another chance for South Africa to see what the Lions going to bring, etc., etc.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Yeah, 100%. We don't want to be showing our hand too early. No. God, how long is this anthem? I remember it being a nice little jingle, but I don't remember it being this long. That's what I love about God Save the Queen, man. It's short. All the Home Nation ones, they're like 45 seconds. Let's get on with some rugby.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing because ours is one of the best, I think. I'm being biased, but ours is one of the best.
Do you know what?
The Wales one I love, the Italian one I love, the South African one I love.
I like the Italian one. It's all about it's a bit grim though, isn't it? It's all about dying or something.
Yeah, it's passionate, and then
right. Nick Berry, the man in charge in the middle from Australia. Poor Marius Jonker in the truck. I feel a bit sorry for him. He's got a thankless task this afternoon.
Yeah, he's a guy that shouldn't be put in that position, shouldn't he? Because if he makes decisions against South Africa, he's going to get loads of stick there. And if he makes it against the Lions, he's going to get even more from over here. So,
absolutely. Right, we're off and underway. But there we go. I thought I was a little bit behind. I had to catch it up a little bit. There we go. So, box. Then Faf de Klerk looks like he's going to kick this one off the base. Get a little bit of territory. Oom's in there with the simp line. Come on, Wales. I can't say it in Welsh. I can't say nothing in Welsh. Cymru, that's the one.
Yeah.
I know a Raff and Yakida, and that's about as much as as far as my Welsh goes. Right. Lions off the line out then. Ali Price away.
Oh, knock on.
Oh, Vandermeer. I tell you what, it's a brave decision to kick there. Interesting decision to kick that deep.
Yeah. From that first attacking phase as well, but it looks like he was offside for the kick.
I mean, you don't want to be giving away silly decisions like that. Easy decisions for the referee as well. So South Africa will clear their lines. And we go again.
Imagine the atmosphere there if that crowd was full today.
Could you imagine? The noise would be electric. What have we got going on here? We've got a bit of a technical issue with the referee. Needs his bra fixing.
One thing I will say that which really tickled me this week is that I'm in a couple of rugby WhatsApp groups, and one of the groups this week, for about an hour and a half, were making a play on words and making memes up because his name is Nick Berry, and referring to him with the previous character from Heartbeat. So we were in that group chat. There was loads of memes like asking for like how green grass is and stuff like that, and it was quite funny. So there was pictures being changed with his face going across Nick Berry's and Gatland's being on top of green grass and stuff on there as well. It was just funny.
Oh, brilliant. I miss a bit of rugby banter. There's not a lot of it flying around anymore. I used to be hot on the rugby Reddit.
Okay.
It seems to have died off a little bit. I don't seem to see much on there anymore.
No.
It gets a bit closed off. Sometimes you get loads of good stuff on there, and sometimes it's really, really clicky.
Yeah, I also think that sometimes when you read some of the stuff on there, giving an opinion sometimes can get you into a lot of trouble, even if your opinion is fine and like widely received as being like to the point and correct or something. If one person tends to disagree with it, then a lot of people will disagree with it, and then you seem to get a lot of rubbish for it, I suppose, and a lot of abuse.
Oh, absolutely,
which is not ideal.
No, far from it. A couple of big shots going in early, which is what we love to see. Hoggy gets the mark down and returns that with interest. Huge boot. This is Cape Town, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not even
at altitude, is it?
Oh, sorry. It's at sea level, isn't it? That's a pen, surely. Is he not taken in the air?
Referee happy for play to continue. It's gone a bit scrappy at the breakdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just need to settle down a little bit frantic.
Yeah, play a little bit.
Play smart. Play. Oh, there's ball tracking. Oh, it is. It's really cagey stuff, isn't it? Nobody wants to do anything with it.
No.
Just get a couple of phases.
Get a phase, win ball and put it away.
Yeah. All about territory. Huge drive on there. What do we think about Daly? Just seeing him there on the screen, I think he gets a lot of stick for not a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I also think that 13, and I've said this for a little while, 13 is probably his best position for me. The problem he has with, especially playing 13 at international level, is obviously he has Farrell at 12 and then Slade plays as well. So yeah. I think there's a bigger decision there for Eddie Jones to make, in the sense of, does he need Ford, Farrell and Slade all in that 10, 12, 13 axis? Because I think allowing Daly to play at 13 also brings in other options to play on the wing and at fullback, which is probably more informed than Daly's been at fullback, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, look at this numpty with his spamming his links in the chat. Piss off. Yeah, no, I agree. I think we've got better options at 15. You've got Anthony Watson.
Yeah.
You've got Fernback. We've got quality 15s that are ready and willing to go.
Like Jack Noel can play 15 or 4 on the wing, can't he? So when he's back fit.
Absolutely.
Just showing that repeat of that hit on Daly. Properly smashed him there, didn't he?
Yeah, it's not the best shot.
big call with Cowan Dickey starting as well. I think he's played really well, but I personally thought he may have been the hooker on the bench. He's deserved to start, don't get me wrong, but I thought
He
having
has.
somebody like him coming off with his all-action energy and stuff would have been potentially more beneficial.
I love watching Cowan Dickey play. I think he's a quality hooker. I just think he's a loose cannon with his chop tackle. He's got this habit of not wrapping on him. He seems to he seems to get away with them, but it's such a it's the Owen Farrell conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah,
he gets away with them, but you're not sure how.
No, that's it.
You want the links? We'll go and Google the links, Alex. You can get the links off Google, NavScore or something like that if you're desperate. Or don't be cheap and buy it. Right. Freddie Stewart at 15. Daly could be a utility off the bench. Absolutely. 100%.
Stewart's been class, isn't
he? Right, what have we got here? I'm loving Dan Bigger over the last 12 months. I think he's matured immensely from the Flappy Bird memes a couple of years ago to where he is now. Massively matured. He's such a much more rounded player for it.
Yeah, I think like one of the first things I looked forward to the team sheet being announced this week was seeing if he was going to be starting, because obviously he was the only Welsh player from 2013 Grand Slam that didn't get picked for that tour.
Yeah.
So he didn't go to Australia. He then goes to New Zealand and doesn't feature in a test. Obviously, it came out a couple of weeks ago that just before the announcement of the squad, his mum passed away as well. So obviously, I think that's an extra emotion that he's going to have, knowing that he's how obviously had all that hard work. Unfortunately, she's not around to see it, and then he's going to start a test.
Yeah.
Similarly for Hoggy as well. Obviously, he missed out with injury in 13 and 17 while getting injured on tour. So to see him starting as well is great today.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's I thought Van der Merwe had gone then. I'm slipping further and further behind here. My web app is not having my Sky web app is not having much fun at all. Let's see if we can get caught up.
I think
that's better.
My TV, because I paused it, I'm about a minute behind the
I'm on
in play Bet365. But
yeah, I'm on 9:50. Well, bang on 10 minutes now.
Yeah. So
what are we coming back for here? Coming back for a high tackle. Oh, we might be better off. We might be better off on Sky Go on the phone. There we go. Oh, big shove on the first scrum from the box as well.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to see that. Right.
I'm now live because I've just hit a button by mistake on my remote control, which has knocked my telly off. So I've knocked it back on. Now so I'm live with the Bet365.
Right then. So, Anthony Watson with those dancing feet. He's a bad boy with those feet. And again, it's just kick tennis, isn't it? Just two-phase, get rid. Two-phase, get rid. Oh, we've got a penalty coming. DB, furlong binding looking weak. I tell you who did look weak in the scrum. Mako looked awful.
Yeah, he did. He did, and that was the big thing. Someone was saying last week that when it comes to choosing the test team, Mako off the bench gives you options in regards to the loose and stuff. I mean, yeah, but Mako off the bench against their formidable back replacement pack is going to be an issue.
Absolutely.
So that's why obviously Sutherland and Wyn Jones are picked, because the other thing is, looking at Sutherland and Wyn Jones, they're both actually players that are very good in the loose and are both very good in the scrum. Like Wyn Jones was doing tip-ons and stuff in the Six Nations for Wales, obviously helping create tries and stuff. So he's definitely more than an old-fashioned prop where you stand there and just take your scrums and hit your racks. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, fucking hell. Arif, no, not here we haven't.
Unless it's on the telly.
Now TV. Go and get Now TV for the day. Get a day pass. What's the matter with you boys? On the scrounge for links. What am I hearing? Right. 3-0 to the box then. Kick is good. I mean, you can't... your discipline's got to be so on point with Pollard because he can just nudge it from anywhere.
But I would say this. I would say that for both teams, especially with Elliot Daly there. Elliot Daly, obviously, if South Africa give penalties away just inside the Lions or just inside Lions half,
yeah,
Dan Biggar's got a massive boot, but Daly would nail it as well. And biggest percentages are probably up there with Pollard, similarly to Farrell, similarly to like they got Morley Stain. I know he's in their squad. He's not on their bench, but his stats are phenomenal as well. So.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. There's just class everywhere. I mean, both teams have come with the view that they're not going to be frightened to have to nudge it.
No, if it comes to a kick fest, then that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Scrums seem to be a bit on parity, which is good for us so far. Seems to be quite even.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you boys shout my boy Santoro? Big shout out to Santoro. No worries, Murray. Murray. I don't know who Santoro is. What's he about? What's he saying? He sounds like one of Pablo Escobar's boys. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad we've made your day, mate. Jesus Christ.
Hopefully the Lions can make our day.
Do you know what? I'm feeling a bit of fear from the box. They're way more cagey than I thought they'd be. They're not. He's in Bulgaria watching in a pub while I'm sat here watching you two amateurs commentate this shite.
Oh, nice.
Cheers, mate. Merry Christmas to you.
No one asked you to take part in the stream, did they?
I mean, you're more than welcome. Your hate is welcome. Your hate is welcome. Your hate is our engagement. So you're doing me a favour.
And amateurs would be correct because we ain't getting paid for this.
No, we ain't getting paid for this. We're here for the love. Ooh, late from Curry. I seem to be dropping back a bit.
Not good. Another penalty for South Africa, which is great.
Yeah. And then the Stuart Hogg slip just to compound things. I mean, in today's game, you could borderline argue yellow card there for no arms.
Yeah, the lack of a proper tackle there was obviously evident. And obviously, that is going to be why they've brought it back for a pen. But it's a shame because part of me thinks he's in the air. If he's in the air, he's lost control. However, he has hit him way after fast kicked that ball, so
Yeah.
you understand why it's been given.
Yeah, absolutely. Good old running round. Has he got with him this time?
Pardon?
Is he water with him this time? Just running around?
Well, he better have, because surely that's the only job of a water boy is to carry water, isn't it? It's nothing else.
He's not there for, is he?
No.
Right, easy nudge. Easy nudge.
I was making fun of it the other day, but then I looked back and thought, I remember when Wales had Scott Johnson as part of their coaching staff, he did exactly the same. And then Neil Jenkins does it. Obviously, he's on the coaching staff and he was always carrying water. So every team does it. They play around the rules. They name people that are going to be in the box and they name people that are going to be on the side of the pitch. But I think when you're a DOR of the whole of South African rugby, he hasn't necessarily got a role within this team, is he? He's the DOR for the whole of South African rugby, so he's looking at all levels. The head coach is Niebenbar. I think they can name Razzie and he can be put in whatever role they want him to be put in. So
yeah, 100%. 100%. Box just taking advantage of discipline here. They haven't really threatened at all. They're just
they're just trying to get penalties, aren't they? Which is what we expected. Get territory, squeeze on the defence.
Yeah, absolutely. They're basically using England's game plan. Squeeze the defence and then force a mistake, which is exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
What are we saying? First test, South Africa 32-26 to the Lions. Second test, 32-26 at the first test. 30-22 for the Lions in the second test. And then I tell you what, I'll take it.
Yeah,
12-17.
As long as we win 2-1 or 3-0, I don't really care what happens.
No. I don't know if I could. I don't know if my art could take a decider. No. I don't know if I could relive New Zealand.
No, like if it was 2-0 to us after the two tests and they won the third, that's fine. But if it was 1-1 going into it, then no chance.
Yeah, right. Bigger to return 3 points of his own. Looks like he's going to. It's a decent. I tell you what, it's not a bad starter, is it? Middle of the park, 40 meters out.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take them.
So you got to slot that one, haven't you?
Oh yeah, and it's gone straight down the heart of it. 6-3. Let's go. I must admit, I wanted a replay of Lions South Africa A because that game was intense.
I was fuming for that game because my son plays cricket, and also that week was his last week at his primary school. And I'm one of the coaches for the cricket team. So I had gone to the school to pick him up from his barbecue at 6:30, and was planning on going straight home to watch the Lions, and had it all teed up and got like drinks and stuff in ready. And when I picked him up from his barbecue, he just looked at me and went, "We're going the wrong way." I said, "Well, no, we're going to watch the Lions." He was like, "No." He said, the cricket's playing. I want to go and watch my team, even though he wasn't playing because obviously he couldn't make it. They'd already started, and he had a bit of a hissy fit. Like, "Well, no, we said you said we're going to go, so we need to go." So I missed the whole of that game, and that's probably the best game we've taught.
No.
So I watched it on record in the end because I was able to record it via my phone for at home.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't happy that day.
Oh, mate. it was an absolute banger.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to stream it because I was working, but I had it on in the background while I was working, and literally just squeaking down the phone at customers. It was not the one.
No, I bet.
Right, more kick tennis. I don't mind this in terms of the context of the game, but from an entertainment perspective, World Rugby have to step in at some point and draw a line, because it's fucking boring to watch.
Yeah, it needs to get to a point where not necessarily they stop the kicking, but maybe have something in place where like you can only do like if you've done once there's been 3 kicks, whether it's 2 for one team or 1 to the other team or whatever. Once there's 3 kicks, you have to run it or something, or
Yeah.
you have to make a point of like kicking to the corners and stuff.
Yeah, I mean 50-22 is coming in this season, isn't it? So if you kick outside of your 22 and you got it on the bounce, you'll get the line out, which I kind of like, but at the same time don't like.
It's basically the union version of 40-20
in league, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. South Africa on the march here. And great work from Itoji to get the turnover.
Yeah, Faf's not getting that ball out of there against Barrow, is he?
No, not a chance.
Nice little push in the face there. Nice to see Ali Price, the little Ali Price, sticking up for his massive Marrow Itoji mate.
Yeah, because he needs it. He needs looking after Marrow.
Typical scrum half.
Just go and have a nibble of somebody.
Yeah, that's it.
Faf's quite famous for saying that, though, isn't he? He's quite famous for, I like being a niggly 9, because in this day and age, I know there's absolutely nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah, exactly. They can't punch me because they'll get sent off. They can't do anything. It's just a case of they've got to deal with it.
I mean, it's not a bad shout, is it? It's not a bad shout at all.
That's it. And like I said, when scrum halves have been doing that pretty much for years, it's a case of like, let's just crack on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great take from Watson there, but it's going back for the knock on, isn't it?
Looks like it, yeah.
The hits that have been coming on so far, all I can expect is to be the same and worse in the second half when they empty their bench with the bomb squad. It's just going to be massive physicality, even more than there is already.
Yeah, the physicality is next level, isn't it? But we were expecting that from South Africa. We were expecting them to try and bully us out of the game, which I think is probably why we're leaning a little bit too heavy on the boot.
Yeah.
After that South Africa game, we weren't. How many times did we tap and go on their 5 and get absolutely nowhere?
It was a nightmare, wasn't it?
It begged belief.
Like, I get it, like we mentioned earlier, in the sense of like keeping things in the bank for what you want to use in the test and stuff. But there has to be a stage where you go, we're playing against 13 men. Like, let's get the ball wide. Let's at least try and create something.
Especially when they only had 1 defender outside of the breakdown setup.
Yeah, and an attacking shape from a team that's got 15 against a team that's got 13 is going to actually look slightly different, because you're going to put more, like, you only need a couple of players closer to the breakdown because it's going to go wide anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's another penalty. Great.
Oh, Daly, man. He'll get some stick for that, bless his little cottons.
He's done all right, though.
He's not done too shabby at all.
No.
I'm not watching this and going, oh God, he's having a mare for any of them. Nobody's sort of like made any howlers.
No, and he's definitely in there for more of his attacking capabilities than his defensive. But he's definitely got stuck in. Obviously, when you look at the likes of like someone like Chris Harris or Bundyaki, who in defence are both fantastic, that he's obviously there instead of.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
Henschel could have gone 13. I think he's done quite well.
yeah. No, absolutely. I think he's there for his threat on his boot, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think you probably, and I know I'm going to get stick in the chat for this, but you probably would have to go with either him or Farrell in the centres, just to give you that option further wide than bigger to get some clearance. So I think that's why he's there, but you can't knock him.
No.
I mean,
He's a great
yes,
footballer, isn't
he's got hands like dildos, but his feet are fantastic. Right, 3 more. South Africa turn it on.
9-3.
9-3.
I think it's a lot of the time the South African game plan looks so simple, which it is, but they are so good at it.
Oh,
Get the ball back, clear our lines, get territory, squeeze defensively. When we get the ball, attack, but it works.
yeah, 100%. Their precision is unreal, considering they're a team that haven't played together for 18 months.
Yeah,
they look like a club side, like in terms of how connected they are.
Yeah, you'd think like even now they haven't played together properly in a test since 2019, but I know they played against Georgia, and then obviously against the Lions in the A game. But it's you can't tell that, can you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, the first 20 minutes of the Georgia game, I mean, it showed massively. Georgia were all over them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was just the game they needed, and just the moment they needed as well, just to sort of give them that kick up the arse and say, "You're going to wake up. We're going to play some Test rugby, or are we?" Well, that's.
And unfortunately, that's what they did.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, yeah, we could have done with that. We could have done with that in this test.
Yeah, that's it. I know.
Well, I suppose we could thank our stars that they didn't have to get a second test in with Georgia. And not that Georgia would have wanted to play it.
No, because obviously they would have been even more battle hardened for this game, then, wouldn't they? That obviously I understand, and that's why they use the A game. It might have been different had they played Georgia twice. I think it might have been different, and they may not have put the big players in for the A game against the Lions. But when that game got cancelled, quite rightly for obviously COVID reasons and stuff, there was only one option really South Africa had, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be fair, it was the game the fans wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to muck about watching like another 67 game.
No.
You know, I just can't be. I can't be doing with that.
Like it's enjoyable when you're Welsh and you see someone like Adam Beard getting tries as well in games like that. But yeah, you don't want to be seeing that every week, do you?
No, I tell you what, he's had a phenomenal 12 months. He has been superb.
Considering in the last autumn he wasn't even in our squad for Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He was the name actually I was very surprised wasn't in the 23. Like not to take anything away from like obviously Alan Winnie's been injured, but him, Marrow, who's there, Laws, and then obviously Burns on the bench as well. Adam Bede's been phenomenal, and his maul defence as well is just incredible.
Oh,
so I thought that would be key coming off the bench today, but I don't know.
Could you imagine a second row with Atoji and Beard? I mean, that would be incredible. Saracens getting their checkbook out. Just made it back. Set him up with some
penalty, and it is.
It's another good one, isn't it?
Kicked 12-3, yeah.
Ish. Got to sort that discipline. Got to sort the discipline. Cannot be giving Pollard these basic opportunities.
No, And this is the point I was saying just now about for the Lions. South Africa haven't given away penalties like that where Bigger or Daly could kick them, whereas the Lions have.
Yeah.
And Pollard's got a massive boot as well. And like we've seen it for South Africa, we've seen it for Montpellier as well recently.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, he did it against Wales in the World Cup semis as well, which was not ideal.
Was it Pollard in the semi-final where it was literally just penalty kicks between him and? Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
God,
so he nailed one leg.
That was a hard Sunday.
Yeah,
was it 3 games on the Sunday and there was only 1 try scored?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it was awful. Right.
Come on, play then. Right, we'll have a pen. I'll do it. Go on.
What's your tipple today, everybody? By the way, I'm on the kangaroo piss. Ryan, what are you drinking today? You're on the soft stuff, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I don't know why, but I lined up waters. So I've got water. I haven't got any. I've got beers and stuff in the fridge, but when I came and sat down, I just brought waters with me for some reason.
Mr. Professional on the waters, on the Evian.
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat. What's your tipple? What are we drinking today? Love to hear from you. As well, drop some conversation in. Don't be shy. 53 of us in here. Let's have a chinwag. As long as it's not about bloody where's the link.
Or how amateurish we are.
I don't mind being amateurish. I know my station. I've got nothing on Nick Heath.
Nobody has.
No, it's quality. Right.
Oh, this lineup is terrible, isn't it?
It's awful. It's got everything going wrong.
2 from 2 that we've just completely ballsed up. First one not straight, and then that one. We've got the ball back for that for a knock on, but still. Offside there, surely.
Get Jamie George in.
Yeah, and that was the other one. I thought Jamie George would have been potentially. Well, I don't know whether starting or on the bench, but I could see all permutations with the hookers for this game. The one I couldn't see was that Cowan-Dickie would start. I thought it would be Owens and George, or George and Owens, or George to start with Cowan-Dickie on the bench, or vice versa. But I couldn't see Cowan-Dickie starting. And then one thing which I was on our pod this week, we had Will Owen on with us, which is obviously the brother. He works with Robbie as well for Squid Rugby. So Will was with us this week, and he made a good point in the sense of if you know late on you're going to potentially risk giving penalties, you don't want a hooker on that gives away penalties. So you start with Cowan-Dickie and then take him off and bring on the experience of like a Ken Owens or a Jamie George.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I listened.
It's going to be a kick fest later on, which was actually something that I hadn't even considered, and he was spot on with it.
No, you're 100% right.
Oh, scrum penalty coming. Ideal.
Yeah, well done, George. He's in there with where's the link? The link is up my arse. Hello, my name is Anna, and I'm painting stairs. You're painting. Thank you, Anna. That's painting stairs. I hope watching those stairs dry is equally as exciting as watching us. Right, what we got? We got penalty, haven't we? Let's edit. Oh, he's fucking missed it. How far behind? Yeah, we're bang on a minute behind at the minute, behind the ball tracking. So, how does he miss it? Oh, he pulls it. No good. Right. 2 opportunities, 50% success. Not the one.
Not ideal for test match like rugby, is it?
It's not. But what I've enjoyed about the Lions is that there's been a few games where they've been tested in the first half and they've gone back to the dressing room and they've used their time wisely and just rejigged the plan just ever so slightly and just enough to either storm away with the game or, in the case of South Africa A, get back into it.
Yeah.
So quietly confident that half time will bring some promise, but just got to survive this little period.
Yeah, get through to half time with it being this. Maybe don't maybe get a score, whether it's a try or a penalty before half time. Don't concede, and then obviously rejig. But the
Yeah,
good thing I think
absolutely.
in the second half is we've got the likes of Hamish Watson and Ty Burn on the bench, obviously, to give us that go forward as well. We're both great in the loose as well, so
Hamish
it might
Watson, that
be
man is
earlier
made of
substitutions than
Teflon.
planned, but
Yeah, I agree. Hamish Watson, he's made of Teflon or something. It just seems to just bounce off everything.
yeah,
It's tackleable.
that's it. After Tipperick got injured, he was the one person I thought would be starting the first test. To be honest, I understand why he's not. I get it because
Yeah.
obviously he's going to offer more off the bench than somebody like Carey would, and obviously because they've been there for the whole tour, they're going to be ahead of the likes of Navidi, who again is magnificent. I think he can play 6, 7, or 8, so he would potentially be an option for the bench. But Hamish is probably better than him at 7 and 8 at the minute. So that's why obviously Navidi's not there. But
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I really don't know whether I would gone with an out and out 6 or played with two 7s, and gone with Curry and Watson rather than Laws, who I think does a job, but I think we could have probably got more of an offer out of it.
Yeah,
especially with the pace of game we want to play. Right, penalty. What we saying? Got to run that clock down, haven't you, and take the 3.
yeah. I think they have. I think they are taking the penalty, but it looks like it's been moved. So I think we were lined up to take a penalty by the looks of it, and the ref's taking it back to where the offence was. So it's now Elliot Daly having to take the kick.
Oh, okay. Just heard the referee say, "No, I'm going to give him the option again." I was going to say it'd be harsh to make him go to posts from there.
Yeah,
20 meters back.
but yeah, it's Elliot Daly lined up with a with a pen now on the 50-meter line on the halfway line.
Oh no,
Nails this
Elliot
would
Daly
be
to save the day.
ideal, and it's just structural, literally just structural.
Oh, it's not what you want. It's not what you want.
It's not, and that's the type of kick that at higher ground that sails over.
Oh, all day,
because of the
all
year.
day.
So
I mean, I've seen him make 60-meter kicks in St Albans.
yeah,
So he's capable from this range. He's got the legs. It's just how tired are those legs after basically a back-to-back season. Talk to me. What are we seeing?
So it's a fantastic breakdown. The blind side from Robbie Henshaw. Stepped a couple of people, cuts inside, goes for. He's got support inside and out that he goes to do an offload, and as he goes to do it, he gets tackled from behind and knocks the ball on.
Oh,
but a pass inside or outside, and we score. But it's also fantastic backtracking from Willie LaRue. Great tackle, and turns the ball over for South Africa. The scrum's obviously going to be taken because it happened before the clock went red, but we all know what's probably going to happen here. It's going to be a case of win the ball and then kick it off and half-time 12-3. That's what it looks like it's going to be. Because the scrum obviously has to be taken because it was awarded before 40 minutes.
it's the age-old coaching thing, isn't it? Carry the ball in 2 fucking hands.
Yeah. Fantastic break, though.
Great break.
Steps.
First real threat of the game.
Yeah. I think there was one line break from Khaleesi earlier on. I think that's the only other line break I can remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Defence is definitely on top, and hence the 12-3 scoreline.
What have we got going on here? Have we got running repairs?
Yeah.
I see Razzie without his. Oh no, he has got a bottle of water this time. He's got a single bottle of water he's brought on.
You know,
Jesus.
just in case somebody needs water.
Just in case Warren's going to piss it. That I must admit, that was an absolute genius moment when he just said it and then fell about laughing at his own joke.
Yeah, he's right. He's right though.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
It's a case of like, and I was talking to Steph and Will on our pod this week, and it was like, that's his job, and like they were both at end of the like their stance on it is like it's great to see, it's funny, like he's deal with it. But the way I look at it, it goes, I understand that, but if he's technically not supposed to be there, then why is he there?
Yeah.
And I was very surprised, and I know he's not like this, but very surprised that in this game, first test, Gats hasn't done it.
Oh, could you imagine?
And he's like, you are, so I will, sort of thing, and see to see what's being said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Scrum penalty from that one.
Yeah.
South Africa, so it'll be a case of tapping and kicking it off, no doubt. Half time, 12-3.
No doubt, go in above a score. It is something I love about Warren Gatlin. Have they gone out on the full?
Yeah, he has kicked it on the full, so they're carrying on playing. They haven't just kicked and put it out.
Wow.
Imagine if the Lions score from this, Pollard's going to be hated, isn't he? It won't happen. What they've probably done is let's take it to half time, and it's an easier running, isn't it? It's easier to jog down the tunnel from halfway than it is down our own goal line. That's what they've done.
They've just saved themselves a 20-meter jog.
Ball's going to the front, going to Faf and being kicked off. That's exactly what it is.
It's something I love about Warren Gatlin is his media battles. He loves a little bit of niggle between the coaches.
He does, and it's so funny as well.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, so couldn't get anywhere with the drive from that line out. Ball back to Faf, and he kicked it off. So half time, 12-3.
Half time, 12-3. And I suppose from a Lions perspective, we take that. We're much more in touch with the game than we were a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're, we haven't conceded any tries, which has been a major concern for the Lions' first half tries.
The one big line break has come from the Lions attacking, which is good. So it's evident that we've got potentially gaps there. We just need to carry the ball in two hands and be able to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, we are going to take a short break because I need to go and drain the main vein and top up my beverage. So we will be back in about 5 minutes or so. In the meantime, we will leave you with some beautiful stats from the British and Irish Lions website. We'll see you in a tinkle. All right, we are back-ish. Let's get some pictures on the screen. There we go. We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Bit of a damp squib first half. I mean, Super Sports at the minute are raving about it. I've just flicked over to have a look at what they're saying, and they are loving Faf de Klerk's kicking at the minute. They are getting moist knickers over that. But all in all, it has been a bit of a kick fest.
It has, and I think it's what we all probably expected, but hoped that we would be able to see a bit of running rugby as well.
Yeah.
Like the only bit of running rugby that's really happened is that incident with Henshaw just before half time. Everything else has been a case of kicking, clearing lines, squeezing in defence, and trying to put pressure on the opposition for both sides, really.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it speaks volumes, doesn't it, when you get 3 clean breaks in the half, 2 for South Africa, 1 for the British and Irish Lions. I can only remember 1 for South Africa, so it couldn't have been a huge clean break.
Yeah.
And 3 offloads in the game as well. It's been a slow burner. But I'm hopeful that this second half is going to ignite, and we're going to get some fireworks.
Fingers crossed. It could be obviously a lot more exciting then. Potentially changes are afoot, I would say, for the Lions. South Africa obviously will empty their bench like they always do. But I think the Lions probably need to go early. I think there's things there that needs to be changed. Whether that's because I've just read it on a group chat that I'm on when we had a little break, and I was thinking exactly the same. Like, I've not seen Tom Curry do anything apart from when he gave away the penalty for the no-arms tackle.
Yeah.
Watson may be coming on there. The other thing is, I was thinking as well, is there's a lot of the close calls, I suppose, have not really performed. So, like, like Ali Price for me was the right choice, but it was him or Murray. He's not really had the go forward ball to play. Conan has had a couple of little breaks, like half breaks, where he's sort of tried to get through the tackle and then got brought down by his ankles. But apart from that, he's not really done much. Courtney Laws has done all right in defence. Mara's been brilliant at the breakdown. He's won, I think, 2 turnovers in the first half. So that's superb. But obviously, we need more of that, don't we? We need to be able to get there and also penetrate them as well and get through, try and score.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look.
I suppose the other positive is it's a close game and we've missed 2 kicks, so it could be 12-9. So
yeah, exactly. We're far from out of the game. I think is the big takeaway from that half is that we've managed to stay in the game, which is something that the Lions have struggled with in first half throughout the tour. You know, they've if they're conceding tries, they've all been in the first half, except for that Japan game where Japan got a couple back in the second half, but that was a bit of a nothing game as well, wasn't it? So yeah, it's.
Did you say you're now watching on SuperSport?
Sorry.
Did you say you're now watching it on SuperSport?
I am. I've got a cheeky little VPN sub to SuperSport, so I'm over on that now.
Because they've just shown the replay again of the Henshaw break on Sky, and when you see the wide angle and you see the 4 options he's got around him or 3 options he's got around him, he's just got there's like one little pop pass to Ali Price, he's in, and then if he goes to his left, then he's got 2 on his right.
It's greedy. It doesn't help his case because I'm not a massive Henshaw fan.
See, for me, Henshaw coming into the beginning of the tour, even before the squad was named, bigger at 10, Henshaw 12 or 13, and the other one for me was Burn at 6.
Yeah,
were the only ones I would say would be nailed on, in my opinion, beforehand. And obviously, Burn isn't there; it's Laws. Henshaw was phenomenal for Ireland in the Six Nations.
Yeah, I have to concede it. He's doing well.
I think the issue for him is the fact
reason why I don't like him. I just don't. It's one of them. Everyone's got that player that they don't like, and mine is him.
My one's Owen Farrell.
I think everybody that's not English is Owen Farrell.
I don't know if you've seen or heard the episodes on our pod. I just think he's the issue in that England backline. Like Eddie makes an issue for himself by picking him as captain, so he's got to play. He's not picking him at 10, and my opinion is he's a better 10 than a 12.
Agreed.
If he's not picking him at 10, I don't see how he fits in as a 12 in that backline.
No.
I think he's the hindrance to letting the whole game work for England. Like as a Welshman, I don't care. As a Welshman, I'm like, carry on, mate, because we'll defend it and you won't score against us. But I think for a bigger picture, I think playing him at 10 is his best position. I don't see him as a 12.
Yeah, I think Eddie's got away with it for a long time. It's been manageable and it's worked. With its controversy, but it's worked and he's got away with it. It really got highlighted in the Six Nations where he couldn't manage a referee, he couldn't manage the back line, he couldn't make clear decisions, and he had an absolute mare. But then coming away from that, he's had a full season in the Championship where Saracens lost a game and they panicked and basically put those boys in for the whole season. I mean, if you watch, I watched the final 2 legs against Ealing, and I think in the first leg they had 530 odd international caps in the squad. This against some old Pistorians from Ealing. It was a bit of a drubbing, but that's how they've had to play their season. So I think he wasn't going to play an awful lot of rugby this year, and he was going to have sort of a rest year, but he got dragged into it, and it looks like it served him well. But yeah, I agree that he has been a problem. But who captains that England side?
Without him in there, probably Mara.
Yeah. Not a lot of leaders in there, is there? Jamie George would be a great shout, actually. That would be a great shout.
There's nobody else really in that back line, I would say.
No, I'm not a massive fan of having a back as a captain anyway. I'm certainly not a fan of a 10 or any of the halfbacks being captain.
No, I'm 100%. Don't want my fullback as captain.
No, although Stuart Hogg is a great leader.
He is.
It's hard to command things all the way 30 meters behind the play. Interesting point by, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I think it's Angf. All points won and lost by the Lions. Springboks may as well go home. I mean, I'd like them to.
We've got a kickoff here on Sky. South Africa made. Oh, they've changed the whole of their front row at half time, which is a surprise. I knew it would come early on. So we've got Kitsoff, Malherbe, and Malcolm Marks all on at half time for Bongi, Inche, and Nkane.
Hey. Well, we are just about to kick off on Super Sports. I'm running through my VPN, so it's a little bit further behind, but we move, and it looks like Faf's about to put the boot through it. Is it Faf? No, sorry, Pollard. Here we go. Right, I'm off.
Yeah, so you're about 45, 50 seconds behind me. So
Okay.
I'll try and dumb down my celebrations when the Lions score their 5 tries.
Oh, right. Here we go. Oh. And as we say, Tom Curry's done nothing. Has a nice little tackle with Van der Merwe on the follow up.
Yeah, that's it.
Just need to just change the tempo a little bit. We are playing a little bit one-dimensionally.
Yeah, it's all. So that the first half was very much one-out runners, wasn't it? That's what South Africa. Apart from that little break at the end, but. Oh, that's high. That's massively high. Surely.
Is that Faf again on the height?
No, I think it's the Beth on Henshaw.
Oh,
Surely that's got to be looked at as well.
well, putting Jonker under huge amounts of pressure if he's going to be asked to determine a red card.
Doesn't like we've given the pen and we've kicked to the corner, so it doesn't look as though that he has come in yet. But they're just showing a replay now, and no, it wouldn't be. He's slipped up, so it still would just be a penalty only. The original angle looked as though it was high, but he's gone sort of armpit level onto the ball and then slipped up as Henshaw's come down. So it's definitely just a pen.
Well, that's good news. Nobody wants to see a flurry of red cards, especially this early in the series.
Lions mauling from the line out. Do we see a first try on tour in the game? Do we see? Yes, we do.
Get in! Let's go!
Luke Cowan-Dickey with the try from the drive. Great work, great take from Laws in the line out from the penalty. And Cowan-Dickey gets over the line for the try. Very similar to the two he scored in the game recently. I think it was the Stormers on Saturday. But yeah, great finish. And obviously South Africa have only just changed their front row at half time, and so far the Lions have come out and had the upper hand, I suppose.
Yeah, it looks like the Lions have sort of sharpened up their senses a little bit, and they're a little bit more alive. But we'll take that. Raywin, why are these guys talking? The game is on. We're talking about the game. It's a watch along. It's not a watch for or just a watch. So yeah, for the next 40 minutes, we'll be talking about what's happening in the game.
And hopefully more tries for the team in red. Come on, Dan. Nail it.
I mean, it's slottable, isn't it?
Is it? Yes. So conversion over. Cheslin Colby actually tried to charge the kick down, and McKim came very close to stopping it. But it just comes in, curls back in the far post. 45 minutes gone, 12-10 to South Africa.
Happy days. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see. And as we said, where's he coming from? As we said, expect the Lions to turn up in the second half more than the first.
What a tackle that is. I think Gatters has definitely had a word at half time because the line speed and the physicality in defence so far in the second half has been fantastic.
Is that a plan, do you think? Because we've seen it all the way through the series. We're naturally not going to compete as well in the heat. We're not used to it. We're used to -5. I think that's a plan to sort of slow things down, play a little bit more cautiously in the first half, and then come to life in the second half. Empty the tank.
It could well be. You'd like to think that teams just don't do that all the time and in every game. I'm just going to jump in here and just say that South Africa has scored a try, but from a break, from a mistake. But I believe, I'm looking at it live, and they're just going to go and check it now. The ball's been passed out to Am, who's made a break down the left wing. He's kicked it forward. Willie LaRue's chased it and scored. But live, it looked like Willie LaRue was in front of him when he kicked it. So I think,
massively in front.
Seen it once, I think he'll be offside and a penalty to the Lions, but we will see.
Yeah, ball tracking showing us that we've gone upstairs. As you were saying it, I got it live, and Willie LaRue looks like 2 yards in front, but we'll see.
So the pass
We'll see.
looks okay, and then when he kicks it,
is he offside? Wow, Jonker, big decision. I'm sure of it.
Can I say it? Elephant in the room. South African TMO. That could be given because it looks level, doesn't it? It looks live. It looked in front, but there's not enough, I would say, to say because the angle's not straight to say that he's in front or not.
This is where you need that VAR line, isn't it?
It'll depend what they've done on the. It'll depend what they've said as the question. I didn't hear that. Oh no, actually it's on the screen. On-field decision was try.
Yeah,
so because
on-field is
because
try.
it's not because it's on-field try. If you can't confirm it was off, it'll be a try.
Well, so they're checking the forward pass first, which is fine. There's not a problem with that, is there?
It's the kick that definitely.
Oh, I don't know. You're right. He looks offside because of the angle, but is he flat?
Oh.
Oh, we've got another angle.
Oh, so it's not a try.
Lions off the hook. Who is that with the initial tackle though? Is that Bigger? Yeah, it's Bigger with the initial tackle. Sloppy handbags tackle. Must do better there.
That's very lucky, that is, because although live it looked as though he was offside, the fact it's an on-field try.
Yeah.
There's not enough. Surely there's not enough evidence to say that it wasn't. But I'm hearing some of the comms come through the telly from obviously everyone's favourite ref, Nigel Owens, and he's saying there's not enough evidence to say it was, so you have to say it's not. But I think that's incorrect. I think because it's an on-field try, you have to show something that means it isn't.
Yeah, you have to be able to prove. Otherwise, the referee's made his decision.
Yeah,
I think there's an element of that. Of if I say yes, we are. I'm being biased to South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why he's gone 50-50. I'm looking after myself here.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Which I'm not saying he's entitled to do, but I suppose that's his prerogative, isn't it? He's in that position. I'm not.
I mean, I just don't see why you couldn't have got some guy in a satellite box in New Zealand to do it.
Yeah. Well, it was quite nicely put on. I think it was Thursday, by a friend of mine, Josh from Blood and Mud, the Blood and Mud podcast.
Oh yeah.
Great podcast. It is a great podcast. Yeah. He tweeted out that it's a shock that they can't get a TMO in a different country to watch it down the line. Surely they could ask Vodafone to help, considering Vodafone can get a player to sign a shirt from 5,000 miles away. So I don't know if you saw that.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Like, they've got the technology to be able to get someone to sign a pad in South Africa, which signs a shirt in London via 5G technology. Surely they can get somebody in another country to be the TMO.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that someone said is, well, surely Wayne Barnes is still up there. Can't he do it? But obviously that's pretty much the same position that we're in now, just the other way.
Well, exactly. I don't think Barnsley doing it works either. No. As much as I think he's a great ref, he's not the right man for the job on this occasion. Right, mucky scrums. That pitch is churning up though. It is. I've noticed that on a couple of the pitches that the turf's a bit loose.
And considering that turf's going to have 3 games in 3 weeks as well.
Oh, it's going to look like the old Shags pitch, isn't it? It's going to look like a training paddock on a Tuesday night in the middle of January.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, days. Right, so very similar to the try that was just disallowed. South Africa have just got another one from a very similar position. Again, it looks as though potentially could be overturned because something's gone on there that's whether it's knock-ons or.
I mean, it's a great take from a Pimpy to set it up.
So yeah, break from Peter Steph's tie out to Mapimpi, chips it. Peter Steph's tie, I thought, again, was very close to being offside for the chase. He's then.
Has he knocked it on as well, though? Has Steph Toit knocked that on?
Well, that's where I've just looked at the replay, and for those England fans amongst us that might be watching it, it's very, 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 very similar to the Louis Rees-Zammit incident in Cardiff in the Six Nations.
No!
So it looks like they're looking at it, but
well, here you go, Wales fans. Now you're going to know how we felt last Six Nations.
yeah, no clear knock-ons, just try.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Very, very similar. Very similar.
In fairness, in that one, it goes backwards off his hand and then forwards off his calf, which is anything below the knee is considered a kick. So you kind of have to wear that one.
But again, like in the other games, and like earlier, they've scored their try from mistakes that we made.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, 100%. We talked earlier about how solid Anthony Watson has been under the ball, but they are putting him under huge pressure.
Mm-hmm. Great defence from Stuart Hogg there to hold him up. Just unfortunately, when he was put forward, it was Faf that was there waiting for it.
Absolutely.
Right. Conversion missed, so 17-10 with half an hour to go. This time.
Oh, could you imagine a draw in the first test?
The next two tests are going to be even bigger than they are already, then, aren't they?
Exactly. Basically, just chalk off this test and make it a 2-match series. That would be.
You'd like to think, and I'm hoping this doesn't happen, but you'd like to think if it was the last test was a dead rubber, that the players who potentially haven't played for both sides would get game time, whether it's off the bench or whatever. I know it happened similarly in 09, where the likes of like Monia came back in and played on the wing and stuff like that. So you'd like to think that
absolutely.
would happen.
Oh, 100%. And that's just watching another replay of it. That's great strength by Hogg, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's taken all his momentum and driven him back where he shouldn't be able to drive him.
Yeah.
No, massively. You'd hope if it's a dead rubber, you're going to have Marcus Smith start in, all those boys that were flown out as emergency cover in there that probably aren't going to get to play in the test series.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think they would. I think, they would recognise that's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. It makes common sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on then, let's carry. Hi, yep, that's around the neck. We'll have a pen for that, thank you. I tell you what, I've not really seen him play that often, but I was told earlier on this week that although he will be perceived as being the weak link in that team, when you look at the names on that side, Quagga Smith would be class, and he's been phenomenal this game so far. He's
Oh
just
no,
got a
he's been
turnover
awesome.
there.
Yeah.
It was a previously penalty for high tackle, but he's been phenomenal. I suppose anyone's a weak link when it's not Dwayne Vermeulen, though, isn't it? So,
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's a great. You're right. It's a great strip, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's done well. It's just unfortunate for him. Obviously, there was a penalty given just before, but it's in front of the post. Bit bigger nails it. So 17-13.
Back to a one-score game, and that's just. I mean, I don't know how you solve this problem. I mean, Etzebeth looks like he's trying to target the shoulder of Wyn Jones there.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. When I played, if I saw a guy with strapping around his knees, I'm going chop, and I'm gonna see if I can knock it back out of place.
Yeah.
It's
like a red flag to a bull, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I've had five knee ops now, and
okay.
I refuse to play in tape anymore, because the amount of times I've gone out with tape on, and somebody's gone after my knee, it's not worth it. I'd rather look like I'm not injured.
Yeah. When we've kept ball in hand, we look decent.
Sorry?
When we've kept ball in hand, we've actually looked quite decent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the problem, is that we just keep kicking it all away. We've gone for a very English looking attack system that hasn't really worked. We've basically taken the Scotland plan from the Scotland-England game, except South Africa had been able to deal with it.
Yeah, and South Africa have done what they did to win the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. You can't kick against South Africa.
No.
They're too good at dealing with it. You have to move them. And I thought, I did a couple of videos on it when the squad was announced. I thought that was going to be the plan. We're going to use that pace of Simmons and Conan to get one or two channels outside of the fringe defenders and try and open them up that way. But it doesn't look like that's what we're trying to do.
No, it looks like we're trying to just map some fire for fire.
Yeah, which I don't think is the right decision.
Penalty for offside against South Africa, again in front of the post. So hopefully this will take us to 17-16.
And now you start to rue those two missed kicks.
Yeah. And also my two predictions that I made in regards to what the scorelines would be wrong, because it can't happen. We can still win by 5 points, but my predictions of it being 20-15 or it being 26-21 can't happen.
No, they can't. No, they can't.
So 56 minutes gone. Replacements for the Lions as well. So Ken Owens is on, McAvoy are on. Obviously, that's Luke Cowan Dickey's off, and Rory Sutherland is off.
So we swapped the whole front row.
Yes, so Tom Carey is off as well. So Hamish Watson's on for his test debut also.
Well, here we go. This will be the go forward ball we're looking for.
Come on.
So,
this is tense,
25 minutes left on the clock, and it's still just a one-try game. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah, I thought it would be close. I thought it'd be the case of it being penalties all the way along, so like a 15-12 or a 6-9, like 9-6 or whatever, similar to what it was when Wales played South Africa in the World Cup. But
Yeah,
well, the fact that both teams have got tries, it's obviously added to this. And when we get the ball and we get go forward, we are clearly wanting to attack, which is great to see.
absolutely.
Another stat that's just come up: Hamish Watson, 39 tackles out of 39 on tour.
Well, was it? He's made 269 of his last 269 attempts. He hasn't missed a tackle in the last 12 months or something like that. That's a ridiculous stat.
I think it's something like his last 20 games for the Lions in Scotland. That's what that stat is. It doesn't include Edinburgh. That's because I read that the other day as well. 269 out of 269.
That's madness.
A machine, isn't he?
He's different. He's just built differently. I don't see like how anybody could have suggested that he doesn't deserve a spot on this tour because he's not big enough.
No,
I mean
that argument straight away was like that. It just has no backbone to that at all, does it?
No, I mean the fact that he won, was it Player of the Championship for the Six Nations? That alone nails you on for your Lions shirt, if it's a Lions year, without a doubt, and it was fully deserved.
Yeah, I agree. He was fantastic, and I think what I like about him as well is he's a character. Like he's not Hamish Watson. He's known as the Mish. Like if you say the Mish now, it doesn't really matter. Everyone knows who he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, the way he is, like his haircut and everything as well. And he's very well spoken as well. But like which you see from a lot of rugby players that are like monsters on the pitch and gentlemen off it sort of thing. But he seems to be that type of guy as well, like a really nice, down to earth guy. I think Xander Fagelson's quite similar as well. I've seen them two both have conversations and chat, and have both been very good.
Yeah, no, it definitely comes across as sort of well spoken. He's going to have a great media career, I reckon, when he's done with this.
Yeah, he's going to take over from Sam Warburton once Warburton retires from his.
He'll be the next Jim Hamilton, won't he? That motherfucker's everywhere.
Go on. Oh no! So high ball. It looks like it's been knocked on from Henshaw into Van der Merwe to break. He's got to the try line and hasn't scored. But I think he would have been brought back for a knock on anyway. I think it's come off Henshaw onto Van der Merwe.
Oh, Henshaw. I know I didn't like the bloke. Oh. Yeah, he's knocked it on in the breakdown, hasn't
he? Yeah, that's because he hasn't scored anyway, I don't think, but there's definitely been a knockdown. It's come off Henshaw. It's come off Henshaw's hands into Van der Merwe, and then he's broken. So, but the thing is, what they haven't done is because he hasn't actually grounded it. So I don't think they've gone to TMO. I think the refs made the decision that it was definitely knock on. But I don't think he scored anyway.
Well, I mean, you could argue that Faf de Klerk's done another escort in line.
Yeah.
Because he's changed his line there to try and block Henshaw. So I can see both sides of the coin there.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. Yeah, no, he's not gone upstairs at all.
No.
It's called water off, and they're marching round with the water. What's going on?
Yeah, I think someone then goes down for the obligatory forward injury, which happens in every game, doesn't it?
The Kit Kat. He's down for the Kit Kat.
We're just getting back going now. Faf's just putting the ball into the scrum, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, South Africa might be a little bit lucky there for that knock on. Borderline a call for a penalty try. for the high tackle on Van der Merwe to prevent it.
To prevent the try.
Yeah.
It'd be classed as a knock on, wouldn't it? Because the knock on came first.
Yeah. That's what I mean. South Africa a little bit lucky there.
Yeah.
That they got the knock on, which it was a knock on.
Yeah.
Interesting to see the Boks in that last scrum just trying to test the new front row, just hold them and see if they'd falter.
Surprised? No, not overly surprised because he's classed anyway. But obviously the fact we brought on Mako and Ken Owens and we didn't bring on Carl Sinker at the same time. More penalty for the Lions from that resulting line out.
Yeah.
Come on. That'll do. Ref, we'll have the pen, please. Pen, please. Thank you. Yep, we'll take the pen. Now, what do we do? So we're a point behind with a penalty from the position on the other end of the field where Bigger missed his kick from the first half. I think you've got to take the points. He's a kicker like Bigger. He's very unlikely to miss it again. However, he's missed from that exact spot.
I mean, you have to back him, don't you?
Yeah, you have to go with him. Especially the week that he's, like I said, the last couple of months that he's had.
I mean, what's he like with the boot? He's like 86% with the boot or something ridiculous, isn't he?
Yeah, his stats are phenomenal. I think it was O'Gara said a couple of weeks ago on Sky that as he nails it. Yes, he does. So Lions 19, South Africa 17, 18 minutes to go.
Let's go.
Yeah, O'Gara said that the one thing he was looking forward to, which is a bit boring, is that that he would hope the teams would play rugby, but knowing the fact that if they get a penalty from anything, both sides, they've got Pollard, Farrell, Bigger, Mornay Stein, Elliot Daly, whose percentage stats for kicking are up there, sort of at least 80-90%. So
it definitely keeps the scoreboard ticking over, and it makes it a more interesting game having the ability to kick everything.
Yeah.
But in games like this where tries aren't being scored, it does take away some of the value of the game, doesn't it?
That's it. Bomb squad are coming off the bench. So Lou Diaga is on for, I assume, Mostert, because I don't think they'll take Estemeth off. Conor Murray's on for Ali Price as well. So that's the sign, obviously, we're going to start looking at kicking corners and probably take the 2-point win.
Yeah. How many charge downs are we betting? How many charge downs for Conor Murray we're going to say?
No comment. I think they brought on Elstat as well, so I'm not sure who he's come on for, but Elstat is on as well. Oh, Quagga Smith. So Quagga Smith's gone off and Elstat's come on as well.
I like Conor Murray, but I just think he's, as I say about his...
Oh, no.
Is that a try?
No, it's a tackle from Watson against Willie LaRue. It's been... He's given the penalty, but that could be a red. It's a tip tackle onto his head and neck. That could be a red. And if that's a red, that's Hamish Watson missing the rest of the tour.
Oh, it's Hamish Watson. Oh, no.
Yeah, Hamish Watson
on debut.
So he's caught him from the high kick. He's then tipped him. He's put his hand down, which could potentially break the fall. That could save him, and it could be a yellow. But I think at very least it's going to be a yellow.
I think in the context of the series, they'll. Oh yeah, it don't look great, does it? It don't look great live.
No.
It's just one of those ones where he's already going anyway.
But it's a big call for Younger as well, isn't it, now as well?
Yeah.
What I'd like to hope.
In the context of the series, you have to hope for a yellow, don't you? I don't want to see anybody either side get red carded. I don't want those excuses.
Okay, so as Pollard is lining up the kick, it appears it's not even a yellow. Which
It's not even a yellow.
Take all day long.
All day long. Let's go. What am I seeing? Like in the Prem, that's a red with a 30-week.
Yeah, and Pollard has missed the penalty.
Oh no!
It's a double win there, but so it's been looked at. It appears it's not even a yellow.
I mean, he does get both his hands down to save his fall. He is balanced that way.
Yeah. Elliot Daly's being replaced by Owen Farrell, so we've got Bigger at 10, Farrell at 12, Henshaw at 13 now.
That'd be an interesting mix.
I think we know where this ball's going to be going every time we have it.
Yeah. I would like to see us run the ball because we have looked really sharp and we've got some serious threats.
We have.
But it will be a shame if we just put leather through everything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's a horrific miss as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's tense, isn't it? $15 minutes to go. Well, Hemsey's coming on as well for South Africa in the back line.
This is not the 15 minutes I wanted.
No.
This is not the 15 minutes I was hoping for.
No. And Furlong off for Cal Sinclair.
What do we think of Sinks? I rate him. I think he's a great player with a shit head.
I love him. I think a couple of years ago when it was it came up that Gatlin had said like, oh, we always target him because we can rattle him, blah blah blah. I think his move to Bristol has really matured him. I probably go back before that, like when he started working with because Adam Jones was obviously the prop as well at forwards coach at Quins when he was still there.
Yeah.
So working with someone like Adam Jones and then going to Bristol, I think has really matured him. I think he's just a fantastic player. Shocked, to be honest, that he wasn't named in the original squad. I think it would have been a case of taking him instead of Furlong, but
yeah, I think that was just a case of, oh shit, we've picked too many English blokes and they've had a shit Six Nations. We're going to crop it.
Oh dear God! Looks like Dan Bigger's down now. I think it's a head injury.
Oh no! Well, I suppose at least you've got Farrell there to hold the reins if he has to.
100% that'll be a HIA, and I reckon that'll be Davey back on, won't it?
But that would probably, if it is a HIA and he doesn't come back on, protocol would suggest he doesn't finish the series.
Yeah, I think there's a chance of third test, but he would have to miss second test, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it something like 7 or 10 days out of contact?
7 to 10 days out of contact, and then I don't know what it is in elite, but in grassroots it's 3 weeks.
How was it?
Yeah, according to the RFU's protocols. So, but you know, Luke Cowan-Dickey was out cold in the Prem final, and the next week he's starting.
That was an absolute joke.
It was ridiculous. I mean, he was dancing with fairies.
Yeah.
At Twickenham, and the next week he's in the starting lineup with a black eye. You know, there's no way.
No, exactly. So yeah, Elliot Daly back on at 13, Farrell at 10, Kent at 12. It's interesting
Well,
to see. And I think it could be because of how tight the game is. It's interesting to see that he hasn't brought on Byrne yet, and he also hasn't brought on Liam Williams yet.
yeah, you'd have thought by now he would have emptied the bench.
Yeah,
15 minutes to go.
It's probably more of a ball playing second row or six, isn't he? Than Workman like defense. Although he's great in defence and he's great over the ball, he'd be a massive asset to this team at the minute. But I think Gats is going with what we've got.
I'm just trying to see where Dan Bigger's actually taken a knock.
Sorry for the clapping. We just win a scrum penalty against. That's fantastic. Mac Ovanapola, who we said was terrible in scrummaging recently, has just won a penalty in the scrum.
When it works for him, it really works for him. But the Sharks absolutely worked him out. That he gets too long in his stance, and if you don't give him the shove back, he'll just collapse.
Yeah.
I don't think many clubs work him out though in that sense.
No.
He's just a little bit lazy in his footwork. He just needs to come forward a couple of inches and check his feet twice instead of once.
I tell you what, this mauling game that we've played in this test so far has been very good.
It's been tight, hasn't it? Yeah. I've been really impressed with how the first men are in super quick, and then we're driving in the nails either side of them hard. It's been good.
We've definitely fronted up more than I thought we might have done.
It's just my worry now is Owen Farrell, just like his dad, screaming, "Play in the right areas, lads! Play in the right areas!" and just booting everything into their 22.
Whenever I watch a rugby game with Owen Farrell playing, that's always my worry, even as a Welshman. Hence the reason why I've lost my bet that I put on with one of my friends before. Well, I think it was after the tour. It was after the tour squad was named. Yeah. Before any games were played, I made a prediction that based on the form that he's had in the Six Nations, I predicted that Farrell wouldn't make the first Test 23.
I remember you saying this on the pod, yeah.
And I obviously got it wrong. I've lost, but it was only a £5, like a £5 bet in the end, which is good. But
yeah, because nobody else would take you on in the bet.
No. Yeah, did you listen to this week's pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I offered it onto the WhatsApp group that we've got. There's like 15, 16 of us, and I offered it to the chance of it being, if we organise a night out at some point when we're all together, then I'll pay for the first round of drinks, which obviously would have been a lot for 16, 17 people. Yeah. But only one person said they'd take me on for the bet, and that was for a £5. So I actually need to try and get that money too at some point.
Oh.
Honestly, this is tense.
Hogg's had a quiet day as well, hasn't he? He hasn't had a lot to do back there.
Yes, he's just put in a massive boot though to play.
Yeah, I've just seen that, but other than that, I can't really think of anything he's done.
No. Courtney Law's top tackler for Lions today 10, Brandon Jones 9 to carry 8. Itoje and Price 6 each. That's why Laws was there, wasn't it? A lot of people don't like him, but that's the job he does.
Yeah. I mean, there are some boys there that put in some tremendous shifts of unseen work. Just watching here, I'm loving that the Lions are literally, every time the whistle's blown, they're fighting to get hold of the ball, even though they know it's not theirs. You love a bit of that.
Oh, this changes it. This changes it. Pollard's come off, and it looks like he's got an injury. So that means that goal kicking, if they have penalties now, is Yankees, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which gives me like he's a great 10, gives me a bit more confidence that if it comes to a battle then between him and Farrell, that I know where I'd put my money on.
Yeah, no, I'm.
But
we
then
don't
Ayanti's
mind that.
is also a running 10, so
Jack Conan, 11 carries as well.
Mhm.
That's a big shift. Of course, we mentioned there the pod. If you are interested in having a little listen to Rock and Roll Rugby, it's well worth an hour and a half of your time. It's an hour and a half of gold. The link is in the description below the video, so do head on down and check them out. Subscribe with your providers so you can be notified when they drop one of their pods. And of course, subscribe to the channel while you're down there. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that sub button while you're down there in the lower echelons of YouTube.
I didn't want to interrupt your sales pitch for Rock and Roll then, but I think South Africa's got a try.
Oh, what have we got here? What have we got here? South Africa video ref. Oh no, we've got to try.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So the worst thing about this is they're looking at incidents, but even before the try, it could be a pullback from.
Oh, it's Henshaw again, isn't it?
There's holding back from Daly.
Daly pulling on the shirt, yeah.
Could then potentially mean it's a penalty try. Like DLND scores, that's not an issue, but it's the contact in the air they're looking at first.
Yeah.
Liam Williams.
And the fact that Daly stayed down, holding his shoulder as if he's injured.
Oh, that's a knock on. Surely. So I don't know how aware you are with this, but on your replays. But basically, what the TMA is looking at is just beforehand on the left wing.
Yeah.
Liam Williams has gone for a high ball, and then Colby's knocked it out of his hands. So even before that, it's going to potentially be a knock on from that incident before it all kicked off and before there was pullbacks and stuff. So Williams goes to catch it, their arms get tangled, and then Colby hits it once it's in the air forward.
Oh.
So surely it's going to be a knock on before.
I mean, the Daly thing is soft. The pimp is stronger than that to need to be appealing for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like he's giving it no try as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so it's no try, and it'll be a scrum to Lions, sort of halfway between the 10-meter line and the 22.
Lions dicing with fire here. It could have been, not for minute errors, a bit of a drubbing.
Yeah,
but we take it. We take it.
And that's it. But like we said, like the two tries they've scored have been errors. In the sense that were disallowed. The try they did have was an error. The penalties were penalties because we were holding on in rucks, etc. There's nothing that we've done anything different. So
they haven't broken us down defensively, have they?
Pardon?
They haven't broken us down defensively at all.
No. And you take away what's like you add on to the points that we have scored as well, or we didn't score, the two kicks for bigger, or one for bigger, one for Daly. That makes it 25-17, and we're a bit more comfortable with what we are now. So
yeah, absolutely.
No, I'll take this at the minute. I think just hopefully we hold on for the final whistle.
I take anything with a W in the column.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
As long as it means we win, that's all that matters. Never knock on, surely. Yeah, thank you. Go on, play then, because we got the advantage.
As long as we stay outside of territory where Conor Murray is going to need to box kick, we're happy.
Well, you'll box kick from 5 meters out on the line, Conor Murray.
it's been awful. And he should be more. The forward should be more experienced to not let him do that, and he should be more experienced at his age now to go. Actually, that's not how you box kick anymore.
No, and the thing that's lucky, I suppose, for him is that, and I hate to say this, but Gareth Davis has been not great.
No,
So,
yeah,
so you need to have Murray on the bench or Price on the bench because the other one's going to start. Courtney Law's just coming off. Burns just coming on. 7 minutes to go. To be fair, and I know a lot of people don't necessarily like Laws. He's been phenomenal in this game.
he has. He's in contention for my dick of the day, which is my version of man of the match.
Okay.
Because he's playing with some big PP. There's a few names in the ringer for that award today.
Mm-hmm.
Got as you say, Laws. I've thought that. Who else have I liked? I've liked Hamish Watson since he's been on.
Yeah.
Even though it's only been a short stint, I thought he's had a lovely little turn of pace. Furlong's been solid. There's been some good performances. There's not been many standout performances. There's not been any wow factor moments, but they've all been solid.
Yeah. And it's good to see that somebody like Alan Wynne-Jones is clearly 100% fit because of the subs we've made now. Him and I told you are going to play the full 80 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a show of trust from Warren Gatlin. He wants to keep his experience in the middle there.
I love the fact as well that he said that he knew on the Tuesday after the injury that there was a chance. He said he was just sitting at home, down, despondent, upset, and like he got a call to say, "Look, we've had a look at it. There's a chance you could feature, but you need to do this." And he was like, "I'll do anything, whatever it takes, I'll do it."
I think that's what makes him such a great leader.
Yeah,
is all the stories you hear of him around the training paddock. You know, everyone talks to him as like a 17-year-old lad.
He's running from breakdown to breakdown or session to session all the time, isn't he?
Yeah. It just he leads from the front. Someone you want to go over the top with.
Yeah, I'm just glad he's Welsh. Because he's also one of those players, I think, that although you'd respect them, that's not contrary. Although you'd respect them as an opposition, I think, like for the football analogy, somebody like Robbie Savage.
Yeah.
Robbie Savage, I hated as a player, but playing for Wales, you loved him because he's the type of player you want on your team and you don't want to be playing against. And I think that's the same with Alan Wynne. Like, although they respect him in the sense of the way he is a leader, you don't want to be coming up against him because you know he's going to be gnarly, he's going to be in your face, he's going to put pressure on everything.
Yeah, and he loves niggle as well. Like you watch him play, he'll stick a leg out and trip you up if he thinks he's going to get away with it. He loves playing the game as well as playing rugby. Wow.
Right, 4 minutes to go. 2-point lead. Lions just outside South Africa 22 with the line out.
I'm telling you what, you just go and stick Farrell in the slot, don't you, and go for the droppy, which...
Yeah, you knock it up. And can I just say, if that was to happen and the score's finished, you would then win by 5 points, which has been my prediction all along. My scoreline would be 5 points will be spot on.
You're not wrong. But if he does that, I don't want him immortalised like Wilkinson. I don't want that Wilkinson thing stolen by Farrell. Anybody but Farrell. The drop goal moment. I don't want that to be Farrell's moment.
Well, it's potentially not going to be, but it could be the penalty moment because from the lineup that we just threw in, we won a penalty off the maul, and as soon as the ref blows his whistle, Alan Wynne has turned to Owen Farrell and pointed to the posts. So
good man.
Let's slot it over, which will mean South Africa will need to play then because they'll need to try to get at least a draw. If Farrell kicks it.
Let's run that clock.
I haven't seen it come up, but it looks like Bigger's obviously failed his HIA because nothing's been said. He's not come on.
I know, it's a fair point, yeah. I haven't seen him back yet.
So I don't think he's going to be back on. So what that means for next week, or potentially they've gone, do you know what, just stay off.
Wow.
Just stay off.
Could it mean the ultimate fairy tale next week?
I said this on the pod. You listened to it. I said it on the pod. I asked
Yeah.
the question. Marcus Smith, does he play a test? And I was told no. I think he will.
I mean, I don't think he gets there without an injury, but
However, did you see the pictures that Finn was kicking, wasn't he, this week? So who knows? Finn could be back.
wow, this is true. This is true. And I mean, they're not going to be bothered about risking him or not.
No.
Take your time. All the time in the world on this.
Come on, baby Faz. It's the first time I've ever said it and probably the last. But come on. Get in.
Let's go. 92% kick success rate.
So we've got, by the time we kick off, it'll be 90 seconds of normal time to play. 5 minute, 5-point lead.
90 seconds. Has Murray got the experience to just pod it up?
South Africa win the ball from the kickoff in the Lions 22.
Oh, in the Lions 22?
Yeah. So it's
That's
gone
scandalous.
Daly's gone to catch it, and then South African players got there first.
I'll tell you what, though. The noise in that stadium for the kick, for the amount of time he took over that'd have been summed in.
Come on. 45 seconds to go. Discipline now. Come on. No pens.
It's a great take, though, isn't it?
No pens and smash your tackles. Come on. Digalende. No. This. I know you're slightly behind, but this defense from the Lions is incredible at the minute.
Yeah, I've just watched sort of like 3 phases of it, and the line speed, and I mean that's great from a Toji.
5 seconds to go of normal time. Come on to that. Come on! Come on. Get in there!
Come on, let's fucking go! Oh,
5-point win. 5-point win. 5-point win. Get in there.
Right. I'm going to put the onus on you because I can't pick it. Man of the match, dick of the day. Who are you calling?
It has to be Courtney Knowles.
All day. He's been
phenomenal.
hasn't he?
Some of my close friends will hate me for that because they've had personal run-ins with Courtney Knowles on Twitter and stuff in the past about some of his beliefs. But as a rugby player today, that's all that really matters, and he's been phenomenal.
Yeah, no, he's been spot on. And once you pull on that red shirt, doesn't matter what country you're from.
No, exactly.
Right. So, what a game! What a game! And that brings us to the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining us,
No problem.
Ryan. Thanks for coming in. The if you haven't already, head on down, hit subscribe, hit Rock and Roll's podcast link. Do check them out. Do give them a listen. They are hilariously funny. It's top bands. But from us, until next week, it's face down, ass up. That's the way we like to rock. We'll see you later.
Take care.